Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is the UX Design People. In this channel, we share ideas, inspirations, tips, principles, and everything concerning UX design. In today's episode, we are going to be talking about the UX of notifications. That is, the meaning of notifications, the essence of notifications, different types, components, and attention levels of notifications. Why don't you grab a seat and relax? Because today we're going to be unpacking a lot about notifications. Let's go. Oh, let me just use this moment to say that I got new glasses. Here they are. They are kind of similar to the old ones. They are similar, but out with the old and in with the new. I don't need it for this video, so I'm just going to pack it up and continue. Like I said, we are going to be talking about notifications today. The first thing we want to talk about is the meaning of notifications. What exactly are notifications? Notifications are simply messaging. They are basically a means of communicating from the product or the website to the end user. So you want to pass something across, you want to send them a message, you want to communicate a status to your users, you definitely need notifications. Most times when people hear about notifications, what comes to their mind is this bell icon with the little notification dot, the red dot there, or maybe a sound from your phone or your push notifications, the little alerts that you get while you are using your phone. So yes, all these are notifications, but it actually goes deeper than that. Let's talk about the anatomy of a notification. A notification can be divided into 4 major components. And I'm not saying that all notifications have these 4 components, but in any notification you receive, you will find at least 1 or 2 of these components in the notification. So basically, these components are the headline, the body, the call to action, and the dismiss button. For example, if you take a look at this screen, you're going to see this white card showing the headline, the body, the CTA, and the dismiss button. Basically, we're trying to say that a notification contains these components. The headline is basically the summary of what happened. You're trying to say something has happened, success, your payment has been received, your let's say message sent, address created, submission received, things like that. You just want to keep it short. The headline has to be brief and just to communicate exactly what happened. Now to the body. The body of the notification contains the underlying details, the cause of the alert, and other details you want the user to know. So basically, you are briefly explaining what happened. For example, if the user submits a form and you want to let them know that their submission has been received and you'll get back to them in 3 to 5 days, this is where you put it. So you are saying that, okay, the headline would be like submission received successfully. Then the body would be something like, oh, we have received your submission and we'll review and get back to you in 3 to 5 business days, something like that. So it's just an example of what the body is. So it's like the explanation of the headline or what caused it. You want to tell them more about the status of their action, something like that. So that's basically the body. You can give directions, you can give instructions in the body, you can tell them how long it's going to take for you to get back to them. It's just basically explaining what happened in the headline. You can also use the body to give some context about the notification. Now, the call to action. The call to action is basically what you want the user to do or to give options. Sometimes you have 1 call to action, sometimes you have 2. So you're trying to say, do you want to proceed or not? If you don't want to proceed, that is why we have the dismiss button, and that's the little X icon on my screen. So you want to let them know that you have the choice of exiting, you have the choice to continue or not. You are not imposing this action on them, so you give them a call to action and a dismiss button so that they can willfully opt out if they are not interested. Those are the 4 components of a notification. Now let's get into the attention levels of notifications. There are three attention levels of notifications, and you know that UX is actually user experience. We are basing all these things in my video, we are basing them on the user experience. It is good to have it at the back of your mind that for users, you need to prioritize the way you design notifications based on the attention that you want to grab from them. That is why we have three attention levels. The first one is high attention. The high attention notifications are used when immediate action is required from the user. So you want to let them, you're trying to say that do something now. So you're trying to grab their attention immediately. Let's say they are trying to make a payment and the payment is not going through. You want to let them know immediately, not later in the day or not when they exit. You want to let them know immediately that this payment hasn't gone through, or they are trying to submit a form and they did not put their email, whereas email is required. You want them to quickly know that, guy, oh, your email is not in this form and we cannot proceed without you putting it. So it is used for when you want the user to carry out an immediate action. Another example is system failures. You're trying to tell them that, okay, what you're trying to do is not working because our system is down. You need to let them know immediately so that the user doesn't start doing that task over and over again. It can really be frustrating when you're trying to access a product, you're trying to sign up, you're trying to log in, and it's not even returning any error. You don't know what you did wrong, you don't know what you need to fix. That is why you need to use high attention notifications, because they let the user know immediately what they need to do. One more example is potentially destructive actions that need user confirmation. You know, when you want to delete your account, you downloaded an app and you don't like it, you want to delete your data, you don't want to just use that product anymore. You go to your settings, blah blah blah, you get into the section where it says delete account. You know, when you want to delete the account, normally they ask you many times, like, are you sure you want to delete? Tell us why you want to delete, things like that. It's just so that you confirm that action. Because if you don't, if it's something that you just press once, delete my account, and your account goes poof, like that, is deleted, it's bad. Because what if I accidentally clicked that button? What if I accidentally tapped on it and now my account is gone? Or what if it was a child that was playing with the phone and tapped on delete account and the account is gone just like that? That is why you need high attention notifications to immediately notify the user that this is what you're trying to do and it is potentially destructive. So if you do this, we cannot undo it. Or if you do this, you are about to lose some of your data, something like that. So yeah, the next attention level we are going to talk about is medium. Medium attention notifications are used for warnings. So here, you don't have to take immediate action compared to the first one that you need to do something right now. Something like warnings, like, oh, your subscription is ending in 5 days. You know, it's a warning. You're not saying, oh, do something right now, because you really don't have to do that thing right now. So it means that when you're designing notifications, you have to really think about it, that do I want the user to do something immediately? Is this action potentially dangerous or potentially destructive? Do I need the immediate attention of the user? One thing I forgot to mention about high attention notifications is that their examples are modals and inline notifications. So modals are actually those sheets that cover the whole page. You know, you have like this background that covers the whole page, and then you have the little modal inside. They also call them dialog boxes or alert sheets. So those modals, if you don't do anything, they are always going to remain on that page. It's like, are you sure you want to delete your account? So until you close it, it's going to be there. You can't access any other part of the page without taking an action. So it's either you delete your account or you exit, that kind of thing. So that's what a modal is. And for inline notifications, which is the other example of high attention notifications, inline notifications are those ones that come up as you are doing the task. As you are making that mistake, they will be showing you, like when you want to submit a form and your phone number is missing or is not complete, or your email is invalid. Obviously, the form is going to tell you immediately that you need to fill in this field before you continue. So these are like inline notifications. They just come in between. I'm going to explain each type of notifications later in this video. Let's get back to medium attention notifications. As I was saying, they are used for acknowledgements, that is to give feedback on user actions. If you submit a form, you can just say, oh, your form has been submitted. You don't need to do anything as a user, because if your form has been submitted, what else do you need to do? You just need to wait for feedback, that kind of thing. So you need to give this initial acknowledgement that we have received your response, we have received your submission. They are also used for success messages. For example, you are downloading something from the internet and you can see the progress, you see everything going 89%, 99%. Once your download is done, you get a notification saying download is complete. I'm sure we are familiar with that, but if you are not, the more you design, the more you use your phone, your laptop, you'll be familiar with each type of these notifications. Examples of medium attention notifications are toasts, badges, inline notifications, push notifications, and sound notifications. The last attention level for notifications is the low attention notifications. So we've done the high, we've done medium. Now we're going to low attention notifications. For low attention notifications, you don't require user action. You don't require them to do something. You're just informing them of the status of something. They are not required to take action. It's just passive notification. They are passive notifications. Your rider is on the way. Something is ready to view. Your download has been completed. You have 10 unread messages. You know those little badges that you see on your app icon? These types of notification include informational messages, like something is ready to view. Badges are typically on icons. They show that something new has happened since the last time you visited. For example, if you go to Webflow and there is a new update, you see like these little dots near that feature or near the button. So they're trying to say that, oh, this thing is new, we want you to check it out. You don't have to. You don't have to check it out, but they are still putting it there that, okay, something new has happened since the last time you came. So it would be nice if you actually checked this out. Another example is status indicators and system feedbacks. When you're working on Google Docs and you're typing, your work has been saving, and suddenly your network trips, you're not able to save and things like that. That sudden change that, oh, offline, you continue editing when you're back online, that kind of thing. So it's like a status indicator. You're trying to give feedback that we're currently unable to save your work. So if you can't even proceed, things like that. I think some platforms allow you to keep editing. Then when the system is back up, you continue. A good example of this is Figma. You can keep working on Figma, but you have this little cloud icon when you're offline or when your work hasn't saved. But once your work has saved, the cloud icon disappears. So these are examples of system feedback. They're trying to communicate something to you. So they are low attention because they're not trying to say, oh, the world has come to an end, you need to do something right now to prevent all of you from going to hell, something like that. Excuse me, pardon my example, but then this is basically what the attention levels of notifications are. The examples of these are toasts, inline notifications, push notifications, banners, tooltips, etc. Now let's go to notification types. The first type we're going to talk about is badges. Badges are those little dots or little numbers that come on top of your app icon or on your dashboard, wherever. You just see these numbers wrapped in a circle or oval. Is it an oval? Yeah, something like that. So you see the number, you know exactly what it means. For example, when you look at my screen, you see these 99 messages, 99 emails that you need to check out. It means that you have 99 new emails that you have not read. The second example here, you can see the 10 wrapped inside the pill. So it means that you have 10 new articles, 10 new events, 10 new whatever it is, publications, anything. But you have 10 new friends, 10 new posts, 10 new notifications, anything. But basically, it's trying to tell you that something new has happened since the last time you came. So badges notify users of new or relevant updates, notifications, or actions associated with specific app features. You want to place badges near the relevant items. You can't have your badge far away from the place that you need it. You have to place it very near the icon or the section of the page that you want the user to know that something new has happened in this area. One more thing about badges is that you have to use them sparingly and only for important or time-sensitive notifications. You don't just splatter badges all over the page to let users know that something new has happened, something new has happened, something new has happened. It shouldn't be all over the page because basically you are confusing the user. The user doesn't really know what they're supposed to look at first. If you have a lot of badges everywhere, you just don't know which one to go for first. So you use badges sparingly and then make sure that you place them very close to the icon, to the section, to the container that you want them to know that something new happened here since the last time you checked. Toast. If you toast me, I will toast you. Toast me. Toast can be used for either low or medium attention levels, and they are for confirmations, for simple notifications, and low priority alerts. You don't need to do immediate action when you are using a toast. You're just notifying somebody, okay, something happened, then the person closes it immediately. Then for toast, you make sure that the characters are not long. You're meant to just briefly tell the user something. It's not a paragraph. Just make it very short. Then you display for about 4 seconds. I read somewhere that it should be between 4 to 5 seconds, but then it depends on you. I choose 4 seconds because I use a 4-point grid. One thing about toasts is that they appear immediately after a task is completed. What if you complete a task and it brings up multiple toast messages? What do you do then? Very good question. So when you have multiple toast messages, you have to stack them on top of one another based on time and urgency. So it's usually the developers tend to sort them, but you have to make sure that you include it in your documentation as a designer, that when you have multiple toast messages, you don't just pile them on one another randomly. You have to sort them according to time so that the oldest toasts are down while the newest toasts are on top. You know that the toasts usually appear at one corner of your screen. They can be at any corner actually, but you just want to sort them in a way that is logical to the user, that when they see the toast, they know that, okay, this one is the most recent one, this one is the oldest one. So just have it at the back of your mind. Let's move to modals. I explained earlier that modals are like these alert sheets that cover the entire page. So there's usually a sheet that covers the page, and then there's a modal or a dialog box inside that sheet. So that modal is what you interact with. And if you don't interact with the modal rather, it doesn't leave the page. So you have to close it, or you do something, the action that is in the modal, the CTA in the modal. So you have to do it or close the modal. And these are not supposed to be used for everything, every confirmation in life. Or do you want to change your password? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? You are supposed to use modals selectively. You're not supposed to use modals for everything you want to do. Some platforms, they use modals for everything, whether to inform you that something is done. They put a modal. They want to inform you. No, just take it easy with the modals. Don't block out the entire screen. Don't stress the user. Just namaste. Modals appear on top of your content, and they are designed to grab attention and to deliver critical updates. You only use it when the message is critical and the user needs to take immediate action. That is why it is high attention. You want that attention. It's very important for you to know this as a designer. Examples are error messages that require the user to take action, feature announcement modals. Oh, we have a new feature, you need to check this out. Like I said earlier, you display the modal until the user takes action. If the user doesn't take action, it is not dismissed. That is why you need to use it sparingly, because you are literally blocking out the rest of the screen with your modal. So if the user doesn't need to take immediate action, then find another notification type to use. For the headline, you need to limit the number of characters. Your modal should not have a paragraph as the headline. You keep it short. And for the description or for the body, you also limit the characters. You can use 108 characters for the description. Then you include clear call to action buttons. The CTA buttons can be really tricky. There are some examples. I'm sure you must have seen them on the internet, like, oh, do you want to cancel your request? Cancel. You want to cancel. Like I'm doing something and I want to cancel. Let's say I'm uploading something to Google Drive and I want to cancel it, but it's asking me, do I want to cancel? Normally your typical modal, you have cancel button and you have your actual CTA. But what if I want to cancel? You can't ask me, do you want to cancel? Cancel. It won't work because I'm like, okay, which cancel am I supposed to cancel? Yeah. So you need to design it in a way that it won't confuse the customer. So the CTAs should be clear. Are you sure you want to cancel? If you really want to cancel, you make sure that the button that will make them cancel that action or cancel that request or the upload is clear. You know that, okay, if I press this one, it's actually going to cancel it. But if you don't want to cancel it, you make sure that you don't use the cancel word. You can say continue uploading instead. Or you can switch the position of the CTAs in a way that the safer option is where they are used to. That is on the right. The safer option is on the right. That is continue uploading, while the destructive one is on the left. So they are probably going to think twice before doing that. So this is just an example. It's not like set in stone. It's just an example of how you should use clear call to action buttons in your modals. Let's talk about banners. Once you hear banners, your mind just goes to something long and on top or below. I don't know where they want to put it, but it's basically something long and it stays on your page or on the screen until you dismiss it. Some banners cannot be dismissed because they want it to be there. We'll talk about it in another video. We'll talk about persistence of notifications. Banners are supposed to be unobtrusive alerts positioned at the top or bottom of the screen. They are great for sending payment reminders, announcing an upcoming sale, discounts, promo messages, system maintenance, downtime announcements. All these examples that I just mentioned, you can see that they take long, they go over days. Let's say you are doing an independent sale, first week in October, you want that banner to be on your website throughout the sale. You can even put it before to tell people that we are going to be doing this sale. So this kind of stuff, you don't want people to just exit. You want it to be there in an unobtrusive way. Anytime they come to your website or your app, they see it there that, oh, you are running a sale. They can easily click that banner and it takes them to the sales page, that kind of thing. So banners are not meant to disturb the user from doing the normal tasks. Avoid overcrowding the banner with excessive content. You put the anniversary sale content, just make it a short line and then you include one CTA. Make the CTA very clear so that you don't confuse the user and the CTA takes them exactly where they want to go. You can add a dismiss button if you want them to be able to dismiss the banner. But if it's something like an ongoing promo and things like that, you may not want to put a dismiss button because you want them to keep seeing it that your promo is ongoing. You can see from these examples on my screen, these banners, the three at the bottom, they are from Adobe, and you can see the statement. The message is simple: your trial has expired, please purchase to continue. And the only CTA that you have is purchase. There's no, oh, go to my account or cancel subscription. If you want to cancel subscription, you go and do it when you get to the purchase page. The second example shows that your trial will expire in 3 days. The user here is on a free trial. They want the user to purchase a new subscription because they will lose access to all the current features in 3 days. That is why you have the purchase button there. The third one, network connection interrupted. Try again. You see that these banners are simple and the call to action is very clear. You can use these in your own design so that you do not confuse your customers. The next notification type we're going to be looking at is tooltips. Tooltips are low attention notifications. They appear when the user hovers over or taps on an item. They are less disruptive and they provide additional information to users. When the user goes over to that part of the page and they hover or they tap on it, it shows them, oh, this is what this thing means. You'll be like, oh. One good thing to note about designing tooltips is that you need to provide a short delay, like 1 second, before showing the tooltip to prevent accidental triggering. It's like when the user is just hovering around the page or they are scrolling. You don't want all the tooltips to just be showing pa 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 as they are going down the page. So you need to make sure that the user is actually there and they are waiting for something to happen. So you provide like a second delay so that when they come around here, let's say this is where you want your tooltip to be. When they come around here, they are there for 1 second, then you show it. So it means that they get feedback for staying there for a while. And it's also a way of teaching the user that whenever you see something like this, just stay there for 1 second. We are going to tell you the meaning. So that way, the user also learns from your designs. You may design your tooltips the way you want. You can use just text, you can use text and icons, you can use shortcuts, Command Shift E or Command Shift something, and I don't need to come all the way here to perform this action. That way, you're teaching your user and you're giving them a better experience. Push notifications. Push notifications, like the name sounds, push is an external notification type. I forgot to tell you guys that you have internal and external notifications. So for internal notifications, they appear within the website, within the app, within the product. But for external notifications, they appear outside of the app. So you've left the app, you've gone to somewhere else, but you still get notifications. These are push notifications that come on your phone directly. So these small pop-up messages, they appear on your lock screen. They appear even when you are not active on your mobile app at any point in time. For web notifications, they are delivered whenever you are active on your browser, regardless of when you are on that person's website or not. So if I own a website and I want to send you push notifications, once you open your browser and you've already granted me access, I can send you push notifications. The same thing applies to mobile push notifications. If you've already granted access to receive notifications from a particular app on your phone, then you are going to receive them. When you receive these notifications on your mobile phone, clicking on them will direct you to the app. You need to remember that push notifications are low to medium attention levels. You don't want to use push notifications to deliver critical updates. You don't want to do that because people clear their notifications, people just swipe. Some people click it once, they don't pay attention to what is in the notification, but they click it and it disappears. You know, push notifications don't come back except you go into the app, except you have a notification panel or a notifications list that shows all the previous notifications. What if the user is not even near the phone at that time? So what you want to do is you don't want to rely on push notifications to deliver critical updates. When you need to communicate something critical to your user, you can use push notifications, but not alone. You use push notifications in conjunction with other types of notifications. You can use it with emails, SMS, all at once, just to notify the customer that an immediate action is required of you. You need to do something right now. Next on our list is the pop confirm. The pop confirm sounds like popcorn. I got this pop confirm from the Ant design system. You can check it out. It just helps you to design something that enables your user confirm something on the spot without taking them off the page, without opening a modal to cover the rest of the page. You just want them to quickly confirm something. Are you sure you want to do this? Yes, no. Are you sure you want to do that? Yes, no. So it's more inline, because it happens as you are performing a task. It's not obtrusive and you can easily dismiss it. Next up, we have inline notifications. So pop confirm, like I said, can be a part of inline notifications, but so as not to confuse us, I decided to split the two. Inline notifications are those notifications that you get immediately as you are doing the task. You don't necessarily need to get to the end of the task before you get this kind of notifications. An example is when you are trying to enter an account number and it is not complete, or a phone number and it is not of the desired length. They appear within the user interface. You can use them to confirm task completion and to alert the user to missed form fields. They provide quiet guidance. It is very important to note that they disappear quickly. Once you fix it, it disappears. If you don't fix it, it comes back. They are quiet. They are not meant to distract you a lot. An example is what I have on my screen here, the phone number issue. Normally, when you're entering a phone number, you are expected to use numbers, but this person has decided to use text and the error comes, please enter a valid phone number. So this is actually a good example, because it's not until you submit the form that you now get to see that your phone number is invalid. Another notification type is your notification center, or your notifications panel, notifications list, anything you want to call it. But it's basically like your long list of notifications that you get to see the previous notifications, the headline, the time it was sent, and the status, whether you've read it or you've not read it. Both inline notifications and notification centers are low, medium, and high attention notifications. It depends on what exactly you are doing. So you can use both of them, inline and notification center, for low attention, medium attention, and high attention. Basically, notification center is just a feature within apps and operating systems that displays all your notifications in one place. It gives your users the ability to customize and clear the notifications. So you want them to always find somewhere to come back to access their missed notifications. An example is, if you mistakenly cleared all your push notifications, you have a place to come back to in the app to see what exactly has happened, why you got so many notifications. Imagine a world where you cleared your push notifications and you come into the app and there's no notifications panel. For you to check out all your previous notifications is going to be hell, because you don't know what you have missed. Imagine how your user would feel if they didn't have that. So one good thing about designing notification panel is that you make sure that you include somewhere to mark all as read. A lot of people don't like to see that they have plenty notifications that are unread. So you make sure that you give them a room to mark all as read. They can also check out the unread ones separately. And then that notifications panel, it will be a very good idea for you to take them to a page where they see all the notifications, and they can now customize it. They can filter by unread, they can filter by read. That's one very good practice to be conscious of. The last but not the least notification type is the alert sound, or sound notification. Many of us are familiar with different alert sounds coming out of our phones. For example, if you have an incoming call, there is one particular sound that it gives that you know that this is an incoming call. If your rider arrives, if you use Uber or Bolt and your rider arrives, there's this sound that it gives that you know that, oh, this is not Instagram, this is not Snapchat, this is Uber, or this is Bolt. So they have different sounds. If you are using GT Bank and you have their mobile app, there's this sound that it makes when you send someone money and the payment goes through. That sound is also part of alert sounds or sound notifications. So they prompt you to want to come and check your phone. You need to look into this as a designer, because these are auditory cues or alerts that accompany visual notifications to capture user attention. And these sound notifications also help users to notice and respond to important information or events, even when they are not actively looking at the screen. Then you provide users with the option to customize or mute the sound notifications based on their preferences. This is quite important. You need to give your users the ability to mute the notification, because it can make someone go crazy. Imagine receiving sound notifications over and over again when you're at work, when you're trying to sleep. It can be pretty annoying. So you need to give your users the ability to customize the sound or to mute it in total. And you select sounds that align with the purpose of the notification or the context of the notification. A good example is when you are waking up in the morning. You don't want that annoying ringtone. You don't want something that is high pitched. I like what Apple does with their sound notifications, especially for your waking alarm, that just goes from very low to medium pitch. So it doesn't wake you up instantly. You're not scared right out of bed. So you wake up gradually. And I think that's very good UX. So you want to ensure that the sound is not loud, but it is good enough to capture your user's attention. So we have come to the end of this video. I hope you have learned one or two things. You might be wondering where all this information is from. I have added some links in the description, so please check them out. In my next video, I'm going to be talking about some questions to ask when you are designing notifications, then some guidelines and best practices for designing notifications. I hope to see you in the next video. If you really enjoyed this content, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye. Water. My battery is low. Happy new glasses to me. Happy new glasses to me. Happy new glasses. Happy new glasses. Anyway, welcome back to my YouTube channel. We are the UX design people. In today's episode, we are going to be talking about the UX of notifications. We are going to be discussing